I was just doing spark plugs. What's going on, everybody? Dan the Man here, and today I'm going to be taking the spark plugs out of the Mosstang after I've been driving it now for over a year, after it sat for 4 years. I have still never pulled the spark plugs out. I'm going to take and pull the plugs out and see what they look like. So I'm going to switch on over to a time lapse. Let's take it easy. Let's get this done quick. And I'm going to time lapse this whole thing, and hopefully it comes out halfway decent. First I got to remove the strut bar. Then after that, I'm probably going to pull this intake tube out of my way, just so I can gain access to these covers, the plug wires, the coils, because I want to relocate the coils where they belong, because they don't go there, they actually go up front here. Access to my catch can, and I don't know, it looks too cluttered back there. I'm going to bring it back out to the front where they're supposed to be sitting, and we'll relocate this somewhere else. But let's get to it, and like I said, I'm going to hit a time lapse, and we'll get this done in a matter of hopefully no time, because this should be a quick job.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Thanks for watching. I'll be right back. Current issue I'm dealing with is this screw is stuck in the thread insert. It wasn't tightened all the way in the metal, so now I have to cut that bolt out, and yeah, so that's where we're at right now. With somewhat minimal damage, which is easy to clean up, I will go ahead and relocate all this stuff once I get everything else out of the way. But that is now out of the way, and it looks a little bit cleaner up there, but I'm going to clean that up a little bit nicer and make everything look really good and make it look really presentable, because I plan on going to car shows this year. If you guys like car show content, leave me a comment down below and let me know, and we'll try to attend more and more of them. See if we can talk to people that own the cars and get a little backstory on the builds. But let me get back to trying to get these plugs out of here, and we'll check back in. Alright, so I got the PCV, well, not PCV, jeez. I got the catch can removed, so that way I can have access on this side. I'm going to now take and remove these covers, so that way I can get access to the plug wires and figure out this mess of wiring. Now is the time to make the change while it is all apart, considering the fact that it doesn't come apart that often. Kind of hasn't been apart. Well, it's sat for 4 years, and I've had it for a little over a year and a half, so yeah, it doesn't come apart often. I didn't take that apart. I just sucked the stuff out of the bottom of the catch can. No, I didn't. No, I cleaned it. It's a good idea to keep your parts in one single pile, so that way stuff doesn't get misplaced. Alright, so everything is off. Access to spark plugs has been made. So let's see what they look like after sitting for 4 years and being driven for a year and a half afterwards. Honestly, like it's got some carbon, but for what this poor car has been through and what I did to it when I was getting it started, I can't wait to put some plugs in this thing and get a clean burn. Let's get some. I'm going to source these plugs. I'm going to make sure that they're the same in all cylinders. And then we're going to put everything back together. And I'll start it back up and see how it runs.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow. Feel like it's going to be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit. And the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work cause my boss is a jerk and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life cause I don't feel alive and there's nothing that makes me happy.
So you know when you have one of those moments where you're just gonna change the spark plug real quick? Cleaned everything. Looks good. But now I'm messing with fuel lines. Yeah. It's supposed to just be left alone because it worked. It ran. It was fine. Well, it's been a few days and I spark plugs. Yeah, back I've been doing spark plugs for a couple days now. So the new spark plugs are right there. I'm gonna get those. I'm gonna get to those soon. But I got some new wiring loom all installed on here. I got everything all cleaned up. Looks really good. I'm actually... What was I doing again? Spark plugs. Spark plugs. Alright. So now that all the distractions over and some of... Oh no, I gotta fix this. Oh, shoot. Alright. Okay. Spark plugs. I gotta get to the spark plugs. So I made a bracket for the catch can. It wasn't there. There was no bracket there. I'm doing the spark plugs. We're still getting to the spark plug. So don't worry about that. So I relocated the see this is part of the spark plugs. I relocated these to where they're supposed to be on this motor. And I had to configure a bracket because I found that the tabs were cut off for the original mount. So I hope that clears the hood and everything. But yeah, so new brackets. I got some new wires. I put on some new wiring loom and wrap, which actually looks quite nice. So you can actually get a good comparison of the original way it looked. I had a fuel leak as well I wanted to fix. So that's all fixed up now. But that's the original wrapped nice now. Going all the way off to the other side there. And I made a little bracket there to hold my catch can. My lines for that go there. Over to here. Other than that, oh yeah, I also made a bracket that relocated the fuel pressure regulator so I could see my gauge. Relocated my hoses so they were no longer rubbing on the hood. So everything is getting tidied up slowly. I still have to pull the fuel rail off again, and I do want to pull these valve covers off because they look like poop. Not only do they look like poop, it's probably a good idea to change the gaskets and check everything out because there's a lot of moving parts on the inside of this motor. So I just want to make sure I'm not going to blow anything up because the exhaust is too loud for me to hear it run. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing gone through. Spark plugs. Yeah, spark plugs. Spark plugs. I'm going to do the spark plugs, get everything tidied up, and hopefully we can get this fired back up. And everything should hopefully be good to go. Because I was having a little bit of an issue where while I was driving it, I was getting a fuel smell. I did find a split O-ring on one of the fuel injectors. So I took and I replaced the... Oh, is that broken? Oh, it's just a smooch. I replaced the O-rings on the passenger side fuel rail because I didn't want to pull this side off yet. Whatever. Plenum comes off easy enough, but now it's time to get the spark plugs actually done. Wiring rerouted the way that they're supposed to be. And yeah, time to get to it. I'm going to go and throw this into a time lapse, and it's actually going to be of me doing the spark plugs this time. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think we should do with this. If I should paint the valve covers a different color other than silver, let me know what you think. Well, the pile of parts is starting to dwindle. Good thing is, those spark plug wires aren't even going back on the car. I got a brand new set. But in the meantime of trying to do the spark plugs, which I still haven't touched, which it's been days now. Oh look, there they are. Look at them, all shiny and brand new. So now I'm actually going to get to the spark plugs, but while going to get to the spark plugs and do the spark plugs, I decided to fix a fuel leak that was a little bit there. Wanted to make sure it wasn't bad. After I fixed the fuel leak, I noticed that the catch can wasn't mounted anywhere, so I mounted that. Now I'm rerouting, well, I put the coils back into the front of the motor here, and I'm rerouting all the wiring back. I did all this wiring. It's kind of hard to see in there, but that's got all new wrap on it. And I figured I can get to this side much easier and do this side without having to take everything all apart. Either way, the whole top end of this motor is coming apart, intake wise and valve covers, because I want to clean everything up, make it look really nice, and probably powder coat everything. But now it's time to actually do the spark plugs, now that it's been days and it's taken a lot longer to do things than I normally do. Time to get these spark plugs
Big
done.
swing home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things.
If anyone's wondering where I got these sweet AM engines,
what you gonna be, and do you believe you can do anything? And what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be?
now, spark plugs are finally done. Wiring is all kind of somewhat organized the way I want it to be, but I have to finish the top covers I wanted to do. But other than that, it is time to put the intake tube back on and hopefully fire this thing back up. Alright, spark plugs are all done, wires are all rerouted, everything's running. So far, no fuel leaks. Everything looks good. Everything's all secured. Running way smoother than she was before. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Dan the Man, and this is me changing the spark plugs and pulling them out after sitting for 4 years. And like I said, I've driven it for 1.5 years on these spark plugs. So we'll see. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.